Bit of an odd day. It seems like if I don't get a video in the morning done, it's just a haze in the afternoon, and I had a lot going on today. I was negotiating the sale of Haunted House, and I believe that went through. We were bidding. I bid on 4 horses. We actually got one of them. I'll get to him. Actually, I'm going to do a video. I'll touch on the horse in this video, but I'll do a video dedicated to that particular animal in just a moment. I was the underbidder on a rather expensive pacer. I was thinking go to Kentucky, race in the Open the next 3 weeks for $35,000, then maybe go to PEI since he showed winning at Yonkers, race in the Gold Cup, and then who knows after that. I thought I would go to 149, 150, and I did. But he went for $169,000, which it's so hard to price a horse at that level. But everybody has a price, as they say, and I felt mildly uncomfortable at 140 or 150, and not to say he's not worth what they paid for him. He very well may be, but not to me, not today. So we ended up with one horse. His name was DELICIOUSSTONE DK from Denmark, all the way from Denmark. So I'll get to him in just a second. I want to talk about last night. A fantastic race yesterday from Tactical Mounds that looked like a sneaky bit of a killer that ran her down at the wire. Now that filly was from Italy. I forget her name. One of Aki Svansted's freaks. Man, did Tactical Mounds ever race good. Very pleased with her. Megan's done a great job with Tactical Mounds. Now, the only problem I had with yesterday, I had a couple of problems. We'll talk about the first one, Atlas Hanover. He's going directly to Kentucky. He's just not a Northfield type horse. That run and gun mentality, which is fine. That's just Northfield in a nutshell, but it's not him, right? Leave, sit, finish. He's like a 5/8 mile track horse. He can race on a half, but up near the lead. That second over, 3 wide down the backstretch, that's where he likes to hang. He's a hanger down the backstretch. All the races that Tim won from off the pace, anytime he raced good for us, it was climbing over cover, cut him loose at the head of lane, and zing, he was gone. And Aaron drove the horse fine. That's how he had to be driven. Just that first half in 53, I'm saying he's going to go a huge mile. Then he moved him like, oh no, don't do that. And he just hung there. And it's just not his type of racing. It's out of his comfort zone, and that is obvious when he races. Raced great last week, but he was pinned in, right? Didn't get free till late. That's just how he is. That's how Atlas Hanover is. Can't race him like that, and that's nobody's fault. That's ours for racing him at that track. So Jason knew it the second the race was over. He'd sent me a message. He said, new address, can't race him here. And as I was texting him, he's going to Kentucky immediately. So he fits the bottom class. He can go 45, I think 75, and then if he gets good in those 2 races, maybe take a run at the Open on the last week of Oak Grove as it stands right now. He certainly doesn't look like an Open horse just yet, but Atlas Hanover's still in there. He's just a very inflexible horse. He will not allow you to over race him. That's just how he is. So he's going to Kentucky. Steel Cowboy, I thought about it. I talked to James today, and he's like, why don't you just leave him here and race in the grassroots? I said, yeah, that's a good idea. No, I'm not going to. No, I'm going to, as I said, it boiled down to what I want to do and accomplish with Steel Cowboy. I had him up to the vet today. She was very sheepish about why she didn't really think she needed to see him, and I found out shortly thereafter why, because he was just there. They just had the horse there. Again, she couldn't break the confidentiality of the horse when he was with a previous trainer, but that trainer fessed up, said sesamoids bother him behind. The way it sounded to me, I jogged him. Now, horses that have bad sesamoids, it's pretty obvious when you go on the track. That was the injury where Carter Michael Dio had a line in his sesamoid. He was lame. When you get that sesamoiditis, that's what Electric Line had this winter. Now, it's different for every horse, but there's no hiding it. He might have sesamoiditis. No, they have sesamoiditis. You can see them. They're uncomfortable when they first go out, and then some of them, thaw out of it, and other ones, it becomes an issue. Steel Cowboy, the way it was told to me by Marty, and is Amanda's dad, was that he had some serious sesamoid issues. I didn't see that when I jogged him today. That's not to say that they don't bother him, but I didn't feel they were of the dire nature. So I'm going to ask Ollie. It's going to be a rush for us tomorrow. I want to leave at 6 tomorrow morning. Get over to the burn. I wanted to jog Crantini with all the gear on, make sure that he gets a good look at this track, because you're going behind the gate Thursday morning. I'm going to ask Jason if he wouldn't mind if I get over there at 12. Would you mind if I go with Crantini at 12? I know the track closes at 1. Would you mind if I just go scoot him a quarter, an eighth, 3/8 at 12? I believe Lauren's taking care of him, so maybe I need to ask Lauren also. Reason being, I'm going to stay here tomorrow morning, and I'm going to go last trip with Steel Cowboy, and I'm going to train him about 58 tomorrow. I know he's been in the field a lot, but he's one big, strong bugger. I jogged him 2.5, 3 miles today. He didn't sweat up that bad and look sharp as a tack when he came in. So I'm going to train him a good mile tomorrow, get a sense of him for myself. I was going to ask James to do it. I was going to ask Danny or Mario to do it, but I want to see it with my own eyes. I want to see what that horse is doing, and then see what I think needs to happen with him. I believe one thing I'm certain of, he is going to Kentucky. He's going to race in the Naumers 1, Naumers 2. If he's real good, then he can come back here and join the grassroots fray. It's not like there's 4 or 5 or 6 divisions of the grassroots. He's good enough. He'll get enough points. And quite frankly, I don't have a whole lot of interest in chasing all the good grassroots horses. That's a tough division. People forget and don't realize the caliber of animal that comes out of that grassroots division. Every year you'll see them pop up at Yonkers, the Meadowlands, Philadelphia, Poconos. You're like, wow, I remember when that horse raced. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough crew. So quite a bit tougher than the maiden and the Naumers 2. And you know what? They go for as much or more money in Kentucky. Down to Kentucky, racing the maiden, Naumers 2, and if we luck, we'll maybe get 2 cracks at it on closing day in Kentucky, and then back to Canada if we want. We can send him wherever we want. I don't care about the grassroots. Most overnights that he's going to race in are going to go for a comparable amount of money, and if you're not the best grassrooter in Ontario, who cares? The final goes to the best horse, the winner. You don't go in there with the 7th best horse saying, oh, geez, I'm ever glad I get to race for them. Whatever the hell they race for. Anyway, so Atlas, Hanover, Steel, Cowboy are definitely going to Kentucky immediately. Now, White Tiger I thought raced good. Very un-White Tiger-like. He got roughed up, cleared to the lead. It was clear that he didn't want any part of them, but he didn't let go the way he usually did. Honestly, I knock on the horse a little bit for being cowardly. I didn't think he raced bad last night. I thought the horse raced really well. Resolute Bay, Patricia messaged me and said he's lame. Here's a news flash for everybody. Every time the track at Mohawk gets hard, Resolute Bay is going to look lame because his feet hurt him and his knees hurt him. And, you know, it would be nice if we could say, hey, we can just give him a little time off and race him in the fall, but that's a slippery slope also. You guys are learning. I hope you guys are learning. And even Patricia, I know that you've been in the game a long time, and I know a lot of people have, but I hope you're learning about horse racing in the 21st century, in 2023, because it is nothing like 2000 and before. You forget, I raced in those 2 decades also. Horse racing in Ontario and across the board is nothing like it was before. Totally different game. And the horses are the same. Sure, they get 4 legs. But how you race them, where you race them, when you race them, that is quite a bit different. So, and it used to be with the B tracks where, you know, they had a little more to offer, right? Especially when we can go over to Northfield or Scioto or Kentucky or Plain Ridge or Saratoga and race for twice as much money. It makes it really hard to stick around and race the horses in Flamborough, London, Grand River, Georgian, Kawartha. So, yeah, Resolute Bay has his nights where he's not going to... And I asked James, I said, was he worse? What do you think? And he goes, Anthony, honestly, I thought the horse raced good. He hates being first over in the last turn, so not the best trip for him. And most importantly, the track was hard. When the track is hard, he finds it really hard. And that's a perfect way to put it, is that those types of tracks bother him, right? So you got to do your best. I know Harry and Nellie work their butts off to make sure his feet and knees are comfortable. He's a maintenance horse right now. He's approaching a high maintenance horse right now, but definitely a maintenance horse. But a good horse. You know, you could easily just say, we'll just turn him out to the fall. If you think he's going to come back and not be the same horse in the fall, then you're wrong. And really, that's what it boils down to. There's nothing that 2 months off is going to fix with Resolute Bay. He's worn flip-flops since he's 2. His knees have bothered him since he's 2. Now, the racing one might be a little softer. As we get into the latter part of July, they really start to ramp up and heat up. If he gets beat up, then yeah, let's say, hey, see you in September. Because there's no real reason. Now, 2 very important things I want everybody to understand. 1, this is what happens sometimes when you keep over those 3-year-olds. So I know everybody that fell in love with Resolute Bay and fell in love with Renegade Gypsy, and I love Ren, I love Resolute Bay. They're beautiful horses. I hope you guys understand now. 4-year-old season, it's not like the 3-year-old season. Quite a bit different. And that's not to say they all are. I won't deter anybody from saying, hey, should we keep, this is not the last grouping of 3-year-olds we keep over to 4-year-olds. Of course we will. But just sometimes when it's time to move, it's time to move. And I just want everybody to understand that. Secondly, both are very good horses. I'm talking about Renegade Gypsy and Resolute Bay. They just haven't found the right rhythm yet. But they will. They will. So that was racing from last night. I thought White Tiger raced as good as you can be to be 5th or 6th. As good as you can be. I thought he was good. Resolute Bay just rolled off the wire. And yes, in a sense, Patricia's right. He is sore. But those types of tracks will always hurt Resolute Bay. Always. And those tracks will be in the fall, in the winter, in the summer, in the spring. So you do the best you can. So Resolute Bay made a little break going onto the wire. He did. Atlas Hanover, I don't want to talk about it anymore. He will not race at Northfield Park again. It's just not a conducive surface and racing scene for the way he likes to compete. And that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. And Tactical Mounds, I thought, raced great. So now on to today. We'll talk about the horse I bought in a second. Right now, I am going to talk about the qualifiers. Insider Trading made that break. I was so... She got away from the gate quiet. And she warmed up real good. I was really happy with her. We started... When you make that transition, right? And I think the problem is that when we're at first line, we don't get an opportunity to come a big half or a big last quarter with any of our babies. So then a couple of them have got to the qualifiers, right? Flash fly included. They've got to the qualifiers, and then that transition that they have to make in and out of the turns is foreign to them, right? The work is there. The speed is not there. The work is there. The understanding, right? The stamina, that's all there. But the intricacies of going fast, it's not, right? The only horse to make a break south of the border was in a race the other day, and that was a transition from surface to surface. That was Pull the Shoes coming from Northfield to the Meadows. I just don't think I don't think the transition for her track to track was good. Every horse qualified. And we came to Ontario and we get 2 very talented fillies in Flash Fly and Insider Trading, and they've been struggling a bit. If you would have told me in February that Insider Trading would start her career with 3 breaks, I would laugh in your face. This is the sweetest filly, and she is good at her work. But that little transition, if you watch, when we come out of the backstretch, the wind hit everybody in the face. They come back a bit, and as she got close to the horse, I should have just left her alone. Those horses are trained to run up on the back of somebody and be okay. But I said, you know what? I don't want to see a break today. I just moved her over into the 2-wide lane just to sit for a sec. Just settle. Easy, girl. And as I did, she got a little rowdy. I said, oh no. Easy now. Go easy. She just put a step in, rolled off. Was perfect after that. I didn't even ask her to trot after that. She trotted a half in 58 and a quarter and 27 and 4. She is there, but not. She needs a flat line. After the mile, I said, that's enough. Right to the Meadows. I'll qualify her next Tuesday at the Meadows. And I'm still torn. I may just do that. Or do we qualify here next Tuesday? Friday's out of the question. That's a no. I'm really torn on that. I'm going to think about that tonight. We have the opportunity to either qualify her here next Tuesday or qualify her at the Meadows, but then she has to race 5 days later. I forgot about that. Oh, that's the other problem. It may be beneficial to have her at the Meadows. Qualify her, and then decide, are we just going to race? So they don't draw till Wednesday. I forgot about the short turnaround. Jeepers. I'm going to have to think about this long and hard. I am. Well, I'm going to think about this today and figure out what we're going to do with Insider Trading. Worst case, she misses the first leg, which I definitely do not want to do. But we will see. how it plays out. Insider trading, it was just a minor mental lapse in her. Mechanically, I thought she was doing her work well, had no problems at the gate. I do think we need to make one little additional shoeing change, but I was very, very happy with what I saw, except for that heartbreaking little break coming into the turn. You know, obviously I'm going to second guess myself. Why didn't I just let her trot up on top of the guy in front of me? She's done it a million times in training. Yeah. Next was Flash Fly. 59-2, 28-1 on the end of it. Better. Left line a lot. Left line a lot in the mile. Hold on here. 59-2 last half, 57-1 last quarter, 28-1. Sorry, right line, not left line. I don't know why. Not really sure why. We haven't really done any vet work on her. So I guess I can get Angelica to have a look at her, but she's going to race in the first leg now. She doesn't have the problem that the other filly does. And then I forgot to ask James how the colt went. JK Mickey Mantle, what a stupid qualifier that was. There was a horse that was refusing the gate, and we just kept going around and waiting for him. There was a time, if you refused the gate in a qualifier because you refused the gate in a race, you were left there. Go away. Come back when you want to do your work. Anyway, we went around and around. JK Mickey Mantle was in a complete lather. Anyway, 26-1 on the end of it, a mile, and 54-1. And no free lunch, 26-3 on the end of it, a mile, and 55-1. Both good qualifiers. Will they come back for another? That will be up to Harry, not me. Now, one last piece of information is the horse we bought today. Now, I will tell you, as the bidding is starting, with the last 3 or 4 minutes left, I called Mark Beckwith because I thought maybe Mark Beckwith was the one bidding on the horse, and I didn't want to be that guy, right? I know some of the people that bid on the same types of horses, right? So I text Mark Beckwith. I call him. He doesn't pick up. So now I think for sure he's in the midst of bidding. I text him. I said, is this you I'm bidding against? ? He said, no, I'm watching. Seems like a nice horse. We're talking about DELICIOUSSTONE DK. This is an 8-year-old, but he's from Denmark. I don't know how many starts he has. I can look that up later. A mark of 52-3, 3 wins in a row. The second last start, he was a winner in 52-3 at the Poconos. I'm thinking, I want to send the horse to Plainridge anyway. It's a great place for that horse to go. We already have an open trotter in Kentucky. We certainly have more than enough to use here in Ontario. We don't have one in the Meadows, but we don't have one in Plainridge. So I texted him back. I said, I'm going to buy him, I think. If you'd like, you can take a piece of him. ? Well, I haven't even bought the horse yet. The bidding is still minutes away. He said, I'll buy 25%.
Incoming call. Press
I said, you don't know how much I'm going to pay. He said, well, whatever you're going to pay, I'm comfortable with. So Mark and Melissa Beckwith have bought 25% of the horse right off the bat. Gone. A couple other people have spoke up also. So here's the scoop. I thought I'd be calling you guys about a pacer and a trotter today. I didn't get the pacer. I went to a lot of money on the pacer. Just didn't get him. I just thought it was more than he was worth. So we still have the trotter. His name is DELICIOUSSTONE DK. He's an 8-year-old Wishing Stone horse. He's won his last 3 starts. And his second last start, he was a winner in 52-3 at the Poconos. Pretty nice horse. Pretty nice horse. This time of year last year, I think we bought Per Lucky for like $75,000. Very similar chart lines, and we got this guy for 61, I believe, wasn't it? 61,000. Yeah, $61,000. So as of right now, I think upwards of 50 or 60% of him is sold out. I'm going to post this video, and then I'm going to get Wendy to post the rest of the shares. They will be up, and we will go from there. Now, you guys saw how quickly the horses sold out yesterday. And it's cool to watch it happen, but I also feel bad for the people that message me when they get home from work or when they get around to it in the evening and say, hey, is there no shares left in Major Megan? There's no shares left in Steel Cowboy? No. And that's good from my standpoint. It really sucks from yours, and I'm sorry. So I will caution everybody, there's upwards to half or more of this horse sold already. So you're only getting a crack at 40 to 50% of them. And those shares will go up very, very soon. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I have to go get some laundry soap. I forgot to get it yesterday. Luckily, the grocery store is right here. And then I have to drive tonight. I have to drive our boy ready for landing tonight. I forgot about that. It's actually a little stressful. So ready for landing tonight. Lonely Lakewood tonight is in. I'm going to go with How the Hell. very late in the program. You know what? All these games starts at 6, and I'm in the second. 7:20. I can't make it. Can't make it. Darn it. Oh, it's going to be a really, really busy next 2 weeks. I'm going to tell you one thing. I am going to be burned out after the next 14 days. By the time I'm done with Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, here, there, qualifier, stake races, it's going to be a very taxing next 14 days. So, hold on. It's going to be a busy one. That's it for today. I talked about last night. I talked about today. I talked about Cowboy. I'm going to train him at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. The second I come off the track, I'm going to Ohio. But he needs to be trained tomorrow. I want to make sure everything is all right. And if it isn't all right, what changes do I want to make? So that's what's up for tomorrow. I'll give you a video tomorrow talking about what took place tonight. But for now, I will say goodbye. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.